We warn you, some may find this upcoming report disturbing. Diana Magne has more.
Bodies executed one by one and then thrown into the river. Militants doing wheelies in their tanks. And now this, the apparent beheadings of 2 men by Boko Haram militants, posted online, almost the mirror image of the beheadings ISIS has filmed and published online since the summer. 2 distinct jihadi entities, strikingly similar imagery. Boko Haram as an extremist group predates ISIS by several years, but it's clearly been watching and copying the ISIS formula. Since late last year, upgrading the quality of its videos, adding the stamp of a production house, and using the same Islamic chants or nasheeds for soundtrack. Even down to the professed leader of Boko Haram, Abu Bakr Shekau, assuming the role of preacher. The religious symbolism, the alcove setting, a mirror image of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi preaching in Mosul.
For Boko Haram, I think emulating Islamic State is a lot of benefit. Obviously, it gains the group prominence and places them on the same platform as the Islamic State. But then we cannot also discount the possibility that there are discernible linkages between the 2 groups, and that using Islamic State's imagery and making references to their leader might be a preamble to a more established linkage between the 2 organizations.
There's no clear evidence of any direct link yet. In its magazine, Dabiq, ISIS writes of groups, including one in Nigeria, swearing allegiance, but it doesn't specify which. And Boko Haram is not necessarily united. In some video strands, Shekau is absent, whilst a spokesman denies the killing of Muslims. And in others, Shekau is a prominent feature, and no apologies are made for the murder of fellow Muslims. Typical of an extremist ideology where Muslim apostates are targeted, and suggestive perhaps of ideological splits within Boko Haram, similar to those between Al-Qaeda and ISIS. A media strategy is easy enough to copy, operational success less so. And though Boko Haram is capturing and seizing territory, it's not using the same kind of governance tools as ISIS does, and it doesn't control the same kind of economic resources, the oil wealth, that ISIS does. And crucially, so far, it doesn't have a trail of would-be foreign fighters flocking its way. Analysts say that may change depending on how it's dealt with.
If you see a more visible, more active international response on this, at that point, you could risk truly internationalizing Boko Haram, which has to date actually been really more of a Nigerian